That's whatever.
Yep. Alrighty, well, welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. This is officially episode 1. Me and Megan, we do these type of things all the time where we just go out and eat and talk, about different things. But we just wanted to invite you guys to kind of get in on the conversation too. At the end of the day, y'all, this is merely just our opinions. Okay, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert at anything. Megan, she ain't an expert.
in nothing. In nothing. How to be a mess, but that's about it.
Yeah, but this is just our opinions. We're not, going to talk matter of fact or anything like that. If you disagree with our opinions, cool. Please share what your thoughts are in the comment section.
Just be nice about it. Be nice about it. You don't have to be rude about it.
Just be as nice as possible.
Exactly.
My feelings are going to be hurt. Speak your mind, be 100. Because I'm going to speak my mind and I'm always be 100.
I mean, don't be calling names and stuff. I've seen other YouTube people and their comments, and their section comments are, crazy.
I know, this shit gets
It's
lit
mean. It's absolutely mean. People have no time on their hands but to troll.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, shit. I'm sure we're going to get some of those, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, the things that me and Megan normally talk about, we talk about stuff like dating, relationship advice type things, life, because life, there's so many elements to it, you know what I mean? Like, we're both, I just turned 30, Megan is in her 20s, so it's like, I feel like we're in that stage of life where there's so many changes happening so fast.
The transitions are just crazy, and they're just one right after the other,
right.
after the other, after the other. I'll be 28, well, I'm 27, so I'll be 28 in July.
Okay.
Yeah, my sisters give me shit all the time because I'm about to be 30.
About to be.
It's scary.
Your Achilles is about to go out just like mine. I literally wasn't even doing anything. I was just grabbing rebounds for my basketball team, and all of a sudden, it just like I took a step and it hurt.
And it just kept on hurting.
Yeah, it's kept on hurting. Like yesterday, it was actually it had started to ease up a little bit, and then yesterday, I was running a little bit, and then that kind of started hurting it too. So it's like, I don't know.
Do you have it wrapped up?
No.
You should.
No, I'm toughing it out.
Okay, okay.
Me and my body, we having a talk right now. We're like, look, I'm going to lose a couple pounds, but you got to take it easy on me. You got to be patient.
Don't give out before I lose all that weight.
I know.
And then you're going to be skating with a gimp.
Crazy. But, no, we're trying. So the first topic that we're going to talk about is the friend zone. Now, before we touch on it, I just wanted to look up the definition of what the friend zone actually is, because I think, I know for myself, there's a lot of confusion about what actually determines if someone is in the friend zone or not. Because I feel like if two people are willingly friends, then that's not the friend zone. Right? Those are two people who are willingly friends. I think if another person likes you, but they haven't made any type of advance on you, and you don't even know that they like you, and you guys are friends, I don't think that's a friend zone either.
No.
Right?
Friend zone has to do with kind of relationship levels, kind of it's in that same category. Because a person has to try to make a love interest, and then if they get shot down, then they get put in the friend zone.
Yeah. I agree with that. Well, this is what the internet says. Okay, so the friend zone is a situation in which a friendship exists between two people, one of whom has an unreciprocated romantic or sexual interest in the other.
Unreciprocated as in what?
Like they have, like I said, I feel like the friend zone is something where someone has to try to make an advance, and they're the ones doing all the romantic gestures and making advances, but it's not being reciprocated back. It's like if I text you every morning, or I was texting a girl every morning, good morning, right? Trying to be the first one to hit her up, the first one to make her feel special. But if I didn't text her, she wouldn't text me back. No matter if it was a week long, she ain't gonna hit me because it's not reciprocated. The feelings aren't mutual. But then also too, she's not trying to do anything to give me the opinion otherwise. Does that sound like the friend zone, or does that sound like a very specific situation in the friend zone?
Well, I feel like the friend zone is all the same thing. It can't really be different because it's one person liking the other.
Yeah. And
then that person trying to make it more than just friends, and then they get put in the friend zone.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no other situation but that,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Have you ever been put in a friend zone before?
Have I ever been put in the friend zone? Yeah, I've been humbled a little bit, but I haven't been put in. I haven't been put in the friend
a
zone.
little bit?
Yeah.
I want to hear that.
No, it's just I've been humbled a couple times about myself, so it's okay. But no, I wouldn't say put in the friend zone, like me that I can recall. But I have put guys in the friend zone.
Yeah.
Just because they try, and I'm just like, nah, we're good. This isn't what it is.
Yeah. How'd they take it?
So I've had someone get really angry about it and start calling me names, and that wasn't very nice, like rude names. And then someone was just like, okay, that's cool. Mm-hmm. But we're not really friends anymore.
So it was like a situation where, like, was this guy constantly making advances, and were you like constantly not like, reciprocating it, and then he started calling you names, or was it like a one-time thing? Like he tried it, you said no, you called him brother, and he got pissed off. Was it like that, or?
No, he tried a couple times, and I kind of just like no.
Yeah.
Didn't really do anything, and then I finally just said something, and then he didn't really like that, and he got mad.
Yeah.
But it shows.
So does there actually have to be a friendship there in order to friend zone somebody?
No.
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 Okay. So then what makes I'm just curious, what makes the friend zone different than rejection?
I guess, because actually just literally, I was just like, well, no, because then what's rejection? No, it's I guess you do have to have some sort of level of, like, being friends or, like, knowing each other. Because, like, rejection can come up with someone randomly coming up to you and asking you, hey, you're really pretty, let's go get dinner.
And even if they did it 5 times, like, on different days, it's still rejection.
That is still rejection because it's like you don't know them at all. But, like, yeah, I do feel like a friend zone, they have to have some sort of level of friends.
Yeah.
Like an acquaintance could be a friend zone because you know them, but you're not necessarily friends with them.
Right. Now, okay, so let me ask you this. By friend zoning somebody, does that necessarily make you a bad person? Because, like, I feel like there's this, there's like this stigma on both sides, right? The friend zone is usually, and they talk about this all the time, right? Like the friend zone could be the one for you, but you put him in the friend zone. And as a woman or male or whatever, you're not looking at the potential there. You're just seeing whatever you're seeing, whatever, it is that could be possibly shallow. And you're going after guys or women that, may not be good for you when this person has been working really hard trying to win your favor.
I think it depends on how you handle the situation.
Yeah.
Like if you take their advances but still shoot them down, you're basically just kind of like using them.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's bad. Like that would be a bad way to like put someone in the friend zone. But if you put someone in the friend zone and they keep trying, that at that point that's on them because you know how they feel.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I've never been put in the friend zone before. But I think the reason being is because I've always led with my intentions. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted to be friends with somebody, then that's how I led the conversation, or that's how I led our relationship is on a friendship level. And then if I wanted to be with somebody, it was the exact same thing, right? I would lead intimately, or I would lead, romantically. I would try to.
You would show them your intentions.
Right. And if they, weren't feeling it, then cool. They weren't feeling it, and I wouldn't pursue that anymore, and I respect their decision.
Wouldn't that technically be putting in the friend zone then?
No, that would be rejected. and I've been rejected a lot. I've never I mean, I don't feel like I've ever pursued someone, been rejected, and then continuously pursued them, trying to do things to win over their favor, like take them out on dates, or
you can be put in the friend zone once.
Text them good morning and every morning, or or being that shoulder for them to cry on and all that about their guy problems.
Nope.
Like I've never been that person. Now, I've never been that person for somebody who I was romantically interested in, but I've been that person for a lot of women.
Well, you have a lot of women friends. So
I do have a lot of lady friends, but I have put a lot of women in the friend zone, and I think what it comes down to, for me at least, is like, I am naturally a really friendly person, and I get along way better with women than I do men, and it has nothing to do with being attracted to them or putting them on the bench and waiting for an opportunity to where I could, put them in play. Like it's not anything nefarious like that. I just build better relationships with women. Like I just feel like they understand me better. In my experience, a lot of men usually try to compete with me. And my female friends, they don't try to compete with me on that level. Like we actually have a solid, legitimate friendship.
Okay.
But because I am really friendly with women, I have had women before take my friendliness as flirtation or take my friendliness as something else, me trying to lead them on, and they've gotten the wrong idea. So then we had to have that conversation like, look, this is what it is, like I'm just, like I thought we could be friends. I'd be more than happy for us to be friends. And I've had people, say yeah, but then they try to do a little sneaky stuff to try to,
Well, women
still-
women are sneaky.
Yeah.
Women are sneaky just as much as men are sneaky. Because people are sneaky in
People
general.
are sneaky. Absolutely.
But I'm saying in your situation, because you're talking about women,
Yeah.
women are sneaky.
I think even more so now, women are sneaky. Or people are
Oh,
sneaky.
yeah.
It's not just women,
Oh.
like it's people. Like, and I was just talking to someone about this the other day. It's like,
Crazy.
so we had talked like a couple of weeks ago about, is it harder to date? And I said no. And
You said it. No. The
I said-
question was, is it harder to cheat now than it was back then?
oh yeah, that's right. And I said the answer was no. I think it's easier to cheat now than it was back then. I feel like back then there was more, things were more private, right? Like you could have a relationship with somebody and no one even know the person at all. But now everybody kind of knows everybody because we all have access to each other on the internet, right? So if, let's say I am in a relationship, but I'm going to use a hypothetical relationship because I'm not going to talk like that about my current one. But let's say I was in a different relationship, and this is back in the early 2000s, right?
Hold on. The question was, okay.
Go
Now I actually remember. It says, was it easier to date now or back then? So that was the original question.
Right. That was
And you said no because more people cheat now.
no. That's what you said. I promise you.
Oh, okay.
I promise you. You said more people cheat now.
Yeah,
And
more
I
people
said-
cheat now.
I said I feel like, and then my answer was I feel like it's the same. I feel like people cheat just as much now as they did back then. I think.
But more people get caught.
Yes, more people get caught
Yeah.
now than they did back then, and I think that is because things are more public now. Like in order for if I was, let's say it was in the 2000s, early 2000s, right? Facebook is not a thing. MySpace is kind of a thing, right? Texting and cell phones and all that are not really actually that big. Matter of fact, in the early 2000s, I think like the only real phone that was like you could really text a whole lot of people was like your Sidekick.
I never had a Sidekick. I had a Razor.
Yeah.
I loved that phone.
The Razor was dope.
It was cool, and I had the coolest one. It was
Yeah.
gray with a dragon on it, and it was
Okay.
so cool. It was my favorite. And then I had the pink one.
See,
That one broke.
I was team BlackBerry.
No, I never had one of those. Nope.
I had all the Blackberries. No, the Blackberries were
Never had
dope.
one of those.
I like having that full keyboard there, and then plus like when you went on the internet on the BlackBerry, it showed it desktop style instead of like the mobile app, because like the mobile at that time was hella whack. Like mobile
I
internet,
remember all that. Like when it
mobile internet
buying
sucked.
ringtones and doing all that
Oh
for
my
my
god,
phone.
those are the good old days, man. I remember
That's
that.
hilarious.
I remember those.
I haven't thought
days.
about that in a while.
Anyways, I could have a whole nother thing on the side, and my partner wouldn't be able to find out who it is unless I did something and slipped up, or she wouldn't even be able to contact that person unless she got the number from my phone or someone else, right? Because like back in that time, in order for you to have conversations with someone
have to have
outside
their
of in
number.
person, you had to have their number. And not only did you have to have their number, you had to get their number. You know what I'm saying? So like you had to actually have some game. Like you couldn't just hop into someone's DMs and have access to them like you can now. Like you actually had to be there in person. They got to see what you look like. You got to see what they look like. First impressions, everything. If you ain't looking fit, that first time, like, you may not get that number. So, like, you always have to stay ready. But with the internet, like, you can make your social media profile look however you want it to look, which is why I think it is harder to date now than it is then.
Like genuine dating.
Yeah, like I feel like you don't get, you don't truly see who you're dating until after time goes by.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people lie.
Yeah.
Lie now because it's easier to do.
A lot of people.
Or people don't care.
A lot of people front. Absolutely.
They don't care.
But I don't think it's just that they don't care. I think there's just opportunity online. For example, like financially, right? Like if you can make money on the internet now. Like you can make money on Instagram and TikTok just by having followers. So what's the best way to get followers? Well,
viral
you
shit.
You gotta have presence on the internet. And sometimes in order to have presence, like if you're just not like a naturally entertaining person, or people naturally just don't gravitate towards you, like people are doing everything now just to get noticed.
Yep.
It's like the culture right now is like look at me culture. Like look at what I'm doing, and then now they're doing anything possible just to get attention.
Well, I mean we're doing a podcast, so we're talking about whatever we want. So, but it's kind of like the same thing.
To an extent, I agree. I think it comes down to intentions. Like my intention of doing this podcast is I think we have really good conversations, and we both bring so many different perspectives to the table that I think it will help people kind of just keep their mind open. Like the goal with the podcast at all isn't to be like an educator. Like I'm not, certified in anything besides real estate, but the goal is to keep everyone's thoughts progressive and also too aware of what's happening around them. Because if you're aware of what's going on and how people are affected by it, it's easier for you to be the change that you want to see. If 100 people watch the podcast, cool. Me and you, we still gonna talk. It may be off the camera, it may be on the camera, who knows, right? But the goal isn't to do whatever it takes to grab people's attentions.
Not like viral
and
stuff. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and some people are like that, where their goal is to grab everyone's attention and keeps everyone's attention on them. At all times. Like, that's why I feel like most TikTok videos usually start with a girl's ass, and then it's like, oh, I need to find my keys. Like, when you can't find your keys, it's a little robot voice talking, and they're like I never looked for my keys like that. Like, what's your ass in there for?
I mean, but it gets the views.
It gets the views.
That's the point.
Yeah,
it gets the views.
Everyone likes ass. Everyone likes ass.
No, but I understand. I'm really excited to do the podcast because it's just like an interesting thing. Something that I've never done before.
Yeah.
And like when I get older, to say that like I did something like this would be really cool.
Yeah. No, I think it is dope. I think it's dope.
It's fun. I think it's going to be interesting too.
Yeah.
Especially like when we have guests on that we want to interview and talk to and see what's going on. So I think that's going to be really fun.
Yeah. Now, I do have a question going back to the friend zone. Is it possible to get out of the friend zone?
Yeah.
Yeah? What does it take? Because personally, I've never seen it successfully done.
Jody, my boyfriend, was in the friend zone.
Okay.
And then we were talking, and he would text me, and I would respond, and some days I would take a long time to respond, or I'd forget. But he kept texting me, and then we made plans to hang out, and we just had like instant chemistry, so it was really fun. And yeah, so that's where we're at right now. We're still together, and we're doing really, really good. Yeah,
but it was after you guys hung out, though, right? So before you guys weren't hanging out, it was just like
we weren't hanging out. We just because we went to high school together, and so haven't seen him since high school.
Yeah.
And so then when we made plans to hang out, we hung out, and it was just. I guess maybe he wasn't in the friend zone.
I feel like that's kind of not in the friend zone.
But a lot of friendships are online, I guess.
Yeah.
That's a lot of thing where there are a lot of people that don't meet, but they're still like a serious relationship. That is friendship true. Or something.
That's true. And
a lot of people have online friends.
I can't devalidate that because I feel like I have a lot of really good friendships with people who I've maybe only hung out with twice, and most of our conversations is over social media. But that is the cool thing about like right now. But yeah, okay. So I guess truthfully, yeah, you did have them in a friend zone then. Like if we're counting social media interactions as real interactions, then yeah. Then I think a lot of people end up in a friend zone because there's a lot of people who get DMs. I mean, like.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, just to think about, like, because then that means I put even more people in the friend zone than I realize. I'm not saying like my DMs are getting blown up. I'm saying like I have so many conversations with so many people, and I'm friendly to everybody. And you know, when people do find out that, you know, I am married, a lot of times they take it the wrong way, and that's just because like. You know, I don't post.
Well, their intentions are different than your intentions.
Right, and
so
my
that
intentions
obviously shows.
Right, and my intentions are never like to advance. Like I don't think anybody could ever accuse me of flirting. You know, they could say, "Oh, he was really friendly," and then you know, I think that was flirting. But if we really talked about it and said, "Hey, okay, if me being friendly is really flirting, really think about that. Is that really flirting, or did you just take it the wrong way?" And I think everyone would say that they just took it the wrong way. But I think that's because I just don't publicly post things about my marriage online. But it's not just my marriage. I don't post things about really anything that doesn't have to do with business or what I'm working on at that time. Just because, you know, I actually used to be that person where I posted literally every single thought I have on social media. I was that person.
I hate looking back at the memories on Facebook of the old stuff that I posted. That was just tragic.
I get stuff all the time. I get stuff every day. Like, look what you posted. I'm like,
I'm
look at me trying to sound like Gandhi and sounding stupid. But
that's funny.
But yeah, I used to post everything on social media, and what happened was there was, you know, some type of dispute that I was having with another person, and her friends, who became my enemies, used what I was posting on social media as a way to judge my actual life.
Well, what you post on social media is what people can base you on if they haven't seen you in a while, because that's another version of you that you're posting out there.
Right, and I think it's, you know, really important to monitor what you post on social media, because it can, and in some ways, it should be held against you, you know, depending on what you're posting, because everyone has access to those thoughts, and some things can be triggering. You know, like if I posted something that's super egregious on the internet, like because people do respect what I have to say, it can hurt people. You know, to find out that I actually think a certain way about them or whatever they care about. Which, you know, most things I'm not. You know, I don't feel like I feel like everyone feels this way, but I don't feel like I have any major controversial beliefs. You know, I feel like a lot of my beliefs are pretty, you know, pretty basics, pretty level-headed, open-minded. I mean, I think I have a lot of beliefs that people would disagree with, but I don't think there would be anything that like, oh my God, he agrees with Hitler. Like, no, it's not like that. like nothing to that level at all. So I wanted to move on to another segment. I have a few tweets here that I screenshot. Okay. The segment's called Truth or Nahh.
Okay.
And it's talking about the topic that we've been on. Okay, so I'm going to read out a tweet, and you tell me if it's true about the friendship or nah. The friendship is basically like when someone turns you down for a job, then calls you every week and complains about the guy they hired. That's hella funny. That's
accurate. I feel like that's true.
Hella funny.
About Friendzone, yes.
I feel like
that's
it is
hilarious.
I feel like there's a lot of truth to it, but I think it's like the wrong way to look at it.
No.
In a way, because like.
I mean, I don't know. I think that's truth.
Yeah. Okay. The reason why I feel like it's like the wrong way to look at it, because I feel like it puts a negative stigma on the person that put that person in the friend zone. You know what I mean? Like, I get it if a person did not make it okay for me to call them and vent to them, then I'm not going to vent to them, regardless if they're someone who's interested in me romantically, female or male, right? Like, if you made it okay for me to vent to you, then I'm gonna do it, right?
Don't be mad about it.
Yeah,
Is that what you're
like,
saying?
but like if you like, but if you didn't, like, if it's like something where it's uninvited and it's unaccepted, and they're just constantly doing it, then yeah, I would have a real problem with it. Then I would feel like I'm being taken advantage of, right? But you can't help it if someone's not attracted to you. You know, if they're not attracted to you, but they love your company and they think you're a good friend and you are a good friend to them.
But then that's on you as a person to detach yourself. Because if you can't detach your feelings, you can't be mad about it.
Exactly.
Because it's like, okay, you're dealing with you have to be okay with being in the friend zone, but you can't be bitter about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can't, like, I don't know, I just feel like you can't talk badly about the person that put you in the friend zone. Like, you can't, like, look at them in this negative view as if, like,
I don't think he's trying to put it in that way. I just think, like, he didn't get hired for that job, and now
that would be hella
and
funny.
he has to hear about the.
You know what's so funny? I have clients like that, like in real estate. Like, I have clients who choose not to go with me, and then they're calling me and texting me asking for real estate related advice, and I'm like, no, like, you hired another agent. They get paid to give you that advice. Like, why would
Don't ask me.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you want to work with me, cool. Let's go ahead and get that contract and get going. But, like, if we ain't got a contract, you got a contract with somebody else, they're your fiduciary duty. But that's a whole nother topic. All right, next one. Truth or nah? When women use you as a therapist to discuss other relationships, you are in the friend zone express lane. Get the out. So basically, what he's saying is like,
no, I don't think that's always true.
If any woman talks to you about their relationship, then you're automatically in the friend zone.
Hold on. Yeah, because if she's in a relationship with somebody, every other friend that she has with a dude should be in the friend zone. Does that make sense? That is.
Okay, I mean, that's fundamental. Like, yeah, if you're in a relationship, then everybody should be in the friend zone. But I'm gonna say nah to that. And, like, okay, so
yeah, that's not true. I don't think that's true.
I say that's not true, and the reason why I would say that's not true because I've had that experience before, where I've had women that were in relationships and that would bitch to me about their relationships, and then the moment that they were out of that relationship, they're under me, and that's you know, there was obviously something there. And that's why they're bitching about the relationship in the first place sometimes, you know. Not every time. Sometimes there's a good established relationship there, but in some cases, it's sometimes a cry for help.
I don't think it matters. I think a girl's gonna complain about her relationship if she needs to talk to someone.
Right.
She needs a friend.
Right.
I think that's not true.
I think everyone needs to vent.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's gonna have a bad day in their relationship. Like, if you just kept it.
And
it's nice
to get perspective of other people.
Yeah. And if you're a good friend, like, if you're a legitimate, like, really good friend, you're not going to have a biased opinion about whatever they're telling you. Like, I know.
No, because you tell me when I'm wrong when we talk about shit. Because when I talk to you about my relationship stuff, you tell me when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But then you'll tell me when he's wrong too. It's just, but then you'll tell me perspectives of everything.
Yeah. And you do the same thing for me. Like, if I, complain to you, you'll go, no, like,
think about it.
This is how women think about things. Like, okay, I guess I didn't realize that, or like, it's all about learning at the end of the day. But I feel like some people do complain, and they're not complaining to learn. They're complaining to, like,
just vent.
To vent, or maybe in some cases it's a cry for help. Maybe it's like, hey, talk me out of this relationship. I feel like some people want to be talked out of their relationships.
Well, yeah, because it's hard for them to make a decision. They're indecisive, or they're like, what do I do?
Yep. So, sounds like, first one, you said...
It's truth.
You said truth.
Mm-hmm.
I stand on truth with that one. I think there was just one element of it that can be taken out of context with it, but I stand on truth with that one too. But we both agree that the second one is
not true.
Okay. Third one. Why is it that the friend zone is looked at as a bad thing, and the person who rightfully rejected unwanted advances is looked at as a villain. Why? Maybe instead of romance targeting someone who doesn't like you that way, maybe communicate properly and not make assumptions.
I I agree that people look at the people who put people in the friend zone as villains because at the end of the day, you're breaking someone's heart essentially, whether it was a little crush or you really really like someone.
Yeah.
Like friend zone kind of stuff like that. So I feel like you get looked at as a villain because you're like, oh, you didn't give him a chance or whatever. So I agree with that, but I don't know, making assumptions.
I feel like a person is not talking about the friend zone. I feel like the person is just talking about rejection. Like I feel like they misunderstood what the friend zone actually is because I don't know, like the way they word it, like, you know, try not to make assumptions. Don't romance target someone who's not into you. Like that really.
You can't help who you like, but if you do it in the right way and then you put them down, like you can do it respectfully and stuff.
It's like
it sounds like she's getting mad that someone has a crush on her, and I'm like, that's
what I think. I think that person is venting.
Her,
I think
whatever.
that person's just venting about an actual like situation.
Just probably
that's
going through something.
Probably like made to look.
Maybe
bad
the dude was like rude to her, and so she was just like, "Why would you make assumptions
or
like
maybe
that?"
Maybe the friends could be that way.
Like yeah, it could be something.
Yeah, because like I mean I've seen it before where like friends would basically like point it out like yeah, you dated Devontae and he cheated on you. You should have got with Tommy. Stuff like that. Like they pointed out, and she's like, "Well, I'm not into Tommy." But, thank you for not comforting me after I just got cheated on. Whatever. But, no, I feel like that person is not talking about an actual friend zone. I don't think there's anything wrong with having confidence and assuming that someone is going to be attracted to you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, if I'm going to go talk to a girl, I'm sorry. I'm assuming I'm going to get the number. Until she tells me otherwise. I don't think there's anything wrong with approaching someone. And I feel like right now there's kind of this movement of there's like this line about respect that's starting to get a little
I know what you mean, but I don't know how to explain it either.
like it's getting twisted now, right? Like where it's disrespectful to make an advance on somebody, or it's some type of like sexual assault or unwanted sexual attention because they're trying to make an advance on you. But that's how we end up dating. Like that's how we learn whether or not if someone likes us or not, or someone's interested or not. Like you have to.
I just think it's the feeling of being in control.
Yeah.
It's like they want to control that. They don't want people to just make these. I don't feel that way. Like, I don't feel that way at all, but that's what I see it as.
Right. I think also too, people want everything to happen naturally.
Well,
you know what I mean?
What's
like
naturally when people get mad at everything?
What I'm saying is like, they want like where it's like two people who don't have any intentions of being together, ending up being together because they find out. I feel like everyone wants that romantic story, but they're not interested in the romantic story of the guy who pursued the woman and she wasn't all that interested at first, but he won her over.
Well, that's what movies are.
But
that's what some movies do. It's like banter back and forth,
right?
All throughout
the chase, yeah.
The chase, yeah, and then at the end they're together. But then people don't like that in real life, and I think it's weird.
I feel like some people like it.
But more movies now are showing. I don't know. They're just.
I think some people like
too.
it, but I feel like some people go about it the wrong way.
Okay.
Like I feel like some people could be overly aggressive with their pursuit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
they just don't get the hint.
Right. Or I mean, even, and I get it, and shout out to all the people who do this, because I think as people we don't always realize what type of social responsibilities we have to the people around us. But some people are not super harsh about rejecting somebody, right? So when they're not harsh, the other person takes it as, oh, there might be a chance, right? But like I don't believe in harsh rejections. Like whenever
Being mean?
Whenever someone approaches me, and like I've been told like, oh, this is the wrong way to do it. Like you shouldn't ever do that. Like say it like that. But I say it like that because I understand it takes courage to walk up to somebody and try to spark a conversation out of thin air with a stranger. Like that's not easy to do. So like when women come up to me and they try to make an advance, I say, oh, I'm sorry. I'm taken. Or I'm married. Like, and they're like, oh, you shouldn't say you're sorry. I say I'm sorry because I understand that this person is going to walk back defeated.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to go back to wherever the hell they just came from with their head hanging low. And, like, I don't want to be responsible for crushing their self-esteem or them now thinking, shit, I shouldn't ever approach a guy ever again.
Yeah, I'm not mean. Okay. If I'm out in public and this stranger comes up to me, I'll be nice and deny them nicely because I'm not mean like that. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not. But if they keep bugging me and you're a stranger, then I'm gonna get mean because I'm like, what the fuck is your problem?
I'll absolutely put my foot down.
Like, sir, you need to stop right here. Like, I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Absolutely. Me too. All right. Well, we've been talking for 40 minutes now, and I'm fucking hungry. I know Megan, you're hungry too.
Yep.
This episode once again was on Friendzone. If you guys have any opinions about what we've talked about or even disagree with what we said, please put it below in the comments. And next episode, we'll read a couple, and talk about it. We'll rehash
Constructive criticism is nice.
Yeah,
it's nice to know what you guys think.
Yeah, if there was anything about this episode that stood out to you in a good way or a negative way, like, once again, please reach out because, this is episode 1. We're here.
It's a pilot, I guess.
Yeah, we're trying to get better at this. We're trying to continuously do this. So, the best way for us to do that is to hear you guys and hear you guys out. So, please subscribe, like, comment, whether it's positive or negative, and we'll read it. Cool?
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it. Y'all have a good day.
Bye.
First official one in the books, Megan.
Yeah, I'm excited.